if you had to watch a videotape of your entire day played back to you each night to show you the things that you were doing, to show you where you were losing efficiency, it would make you nauseous. It would make you sick to your stomach. It would prove to yourself, I say this with love, that you're a fucking liar. And so am I. And that's okay. We're all liars. We all are fooling ourselves into thinking that we are doing everything that we can do. My name is Brian Pannuzzo. I am a former bond trader turned executive health and performance coach. I know exactly why your health keeps losing to your calendar, and I help you build a system that fixes it for good. I know your world as a financial professional from the inside because I lived it for 20 years. Welcome back to the show. This is the Success Lift podcast, and I am your host, Brian, and we got a lot to cover this week, so I want to jump right into it. And I want to take you into a process that we develop with clients and have them insert into their lives. It's part of the operating system that we help clients build into their busy lifestyles, because as you know, generic cookie cutter template programs of meal plans and workout plans and do exactly this for all hundreds and thousands of the same people that I work with doesn't work for you, because you're a unique individual. You have demands that other people don't. As I said last week, you can't bring your container of chicken and broccoli to your client dinner in the restaurant. We have to develop a unique set of solutions for you. Now, if we chunk up just enough, do they look very similar across the board? Yeah, they look pretty similar. But the individual customization and how we get there is one of the ways that you're able to do this forever. One of the things that we hear from clients over and over again is that the programs that we build for them feel sustainable forever. They feel like they can live their life this way. And that is music to my ears, because that is exactly what we are attempting to create for clients. Because I know that you're going to want to have moments that are completely off track. You're going to need to have moments that are completely off track. And so in order to still look and feel your best, you're going to need to be locked in to a system the other times. And that system allows some flexibility for you to have some of these more fun moments. And so one of the things that we do that is a foundation inside of our program is we ask people to get accountable to a process. We call it your ACP, your accountability, your commitment, and your preparation. And we ask you to complete your ACP on a weekly basis. We suggest that you do it on Sunday. In fact, that's when our clients receive it. They get it a little bit earlier in our client app on Saturdays, but it is emailed to them every single Sunday morning. And we highly suggest that our clients take 10, 15, 20. You can do it in a pinch in 5 if you need to. But to sit down with a cup of coffee and some water or whatever your favorite beverage is on a Sunday morning and start to plan out your week. And in order to do that, you need to have some information and data from the previous week. And so we look at, how did we do last week? Did we do the things that we said we were going to do? Did we keep the commitments that we were making to ourselves and to others? And when it's just you, it's much easier to not keep that commitment. And that's the initial A in the ACP acronym, accountability. You need accountability in your life. I don't care if you pay for it. I don't care if you get it for free. You need it. Typically, when we pay for it, we pay more attention. So the more you pay attention. I'm not telling you to just go out and spend an unlimited amount of money in order for you to get accountability. There's probably a sweet spot there. I happen to know it's available in our program. But you need to be accountable to a process and to either a coach or a group of people or a person, a peer, a friend. It doesn't matter. Get one, get accountability in your life. It is an insurance policy on your own success. You have tons of insurance policies all throughout your life. I don't need to list them off. And that's the A. So how did we do last week? Did we do the things we said we were going to do? We get committed. We get accountable. We audit. You audit everything at work. You don't just throw shit up against the wall and see what sticks. You audit it. Then you throw it again. Then you audit it. Then you throw it again. You don't come in and just do different stuff. You have a process, and this is our process. The second part of that process is C, commitment. What are we going to do this week? Put yourself on the hook. If you just have that internal dialogue with yourself and just say, yeah, I'm going to try to do this. I think I'm going to try to eat better, drink a little less, and get to the gym a couple times. Yeah, right. See how that goes for you this week. We've all been there. We all know by Thursday we look back and go, well, there's another week that didn't happen the way I expected it to because of these 7 things that were unplanned. By the way, if they're always unplanned and they happen, they're pretty much planned, and we should know about them and we should plan for them. And that is the last part of our weekend process. The P, the thing that nobody does, the preparation. We get accountable the last week. We make commitments for this week. We prepare for the things that are coming our way, because most of the time we can look at our calendar and we can see, holy moly, this one's going to be a doozy. And maybe I can't make progress this week. Maybe the win is that I stay in neutral and I don't take 2 or 3 steps back. And I'll live to fight another day. And I'll come back next week and I'll put my foot on the gas when we have that opportunity. But this week, I got 2 nights away on a client trip. I got 2 other I got dinners. I got a date night, and I got kids tournaments all weekend. That's a tough week in order to do everything that you want to do and get the results that you may want to. Maybe it's not. I have people who have those types of weeks on a regular basis, and they do just fine because we set up a plan that is customized for them in order for them to achieve their goals. And in fact, I would say as I talk this out now, many weeks for my clients look exactly like the one that I just mentioned. And that is a very typical excuse from a lot of people that I hear. Well, I travel every week. Cool. I got a dozen guys that travel every week. I have to be out 3 or 4 nights a week. Cool. I got maybe more than a dozen guys that have to be out 3 or 4 nights a week. My weekends are spent on soccer fields and lacrosse fields and baseball fields and yada, yada, yada. Like, come on now. Every single one of my clients has to deal with this stuff. If they can do it, so can you. That's what we say, these little taglines. If I can do it, so can you. If I can change my life in the seat that you sit in, that I sat in, that I blamed for my downfall, if I can change my life in the same seat, so can you. So can you. And why I bring up the ACP is because we ask our clients a series of questions that are meant to get them thinking, evaluating the week, and self-identifying where they can improve. Because a good coach is a really good coach, but they're not there with you every moment. I don't see what you're doing when no one else is around. In fact, nobody does. Your in-person trainer, your Orange Theory class, your in-person therapist, whoever it is that you have in your life that's in person. And that's why virtual programming, I feel like, is so incredible, because it actually gives me the lens into your life much more so than your trainer does going to see them 1, 2, or 3 days a week. Love in-person trainers. They're some of my best friends. They're amazing people. They're incredibly knowledgeable. They help you get unbelievable results. You should use them. But I don't think they're enough, because you're spending an hour with someone like that 2 to 3 days a week. There's 23 other hours in that day. You go to a therapist once a week. There's 23 other hours in that day. There's 24 in the rest of them. If you don't have help and a system to deal with your entire week, I feel like you're leaving a ton of money on the table. Now, I have a program that does that for people. So yeah, I'm biased, but I'm talking my own book here, as they say, and it's my show and it's my book, and I'm going to talk about it because it's a pretty darn good book. So we ask our clients to get, thoughtful about where in their week are they leaving money on the table. Now, initially, most people are like, I'm so busy. Yeah, cool story, man. Everybody's busy. But when I specifically ask you, and so we started to ask our clients some new questions, and we refreshed some of the things that we wanted them to think about, because number one, programs evolve and they should improve. And if you're doing the same things in a program that you did 2 years ago, I don't know, is your coach a little lazy? Maybe the program's that good that it doesn't need to change. I don't know. I don't think so. I think everything should change, from time to time. And so we started to ask our clients this past week, and like, I normally don't make things available to the public so soon, but like the feedback and the consensus was overwhelming that I was like, I'm doing this podcast for them as well, of course. But like, this is something that is a topic that has to plague everyone. So many people I talk to is like, I'm so busy, you have no idea. I don't have any time. Like, bullshit. Like, I work with some of the most busy people in the world. And it's like, they're like, oh yeah, I got time. I just realized how much time I waste. And so what I want to do is talk a little bit about where we identified our clients who are high performers, very optimized, paying good money to be in a program to get elite results, where they identified having issues, because you probably do too. Because we are like you are like us. If we can do it, so can you. Here's where we're struggling. Maybe you're struggling there too. In fact, probably not maybe, almost definitely. And here are some of the things that we're starting to do as a group of people, individuals. And I'm the leader of that group, and I'm going to hold myself accountable and push them to do some of the things that I'm doing, right? We started talking about your first hour and your last hour, or let me reverse the importance of those. Your last hour, because it's more important than your first. Because without your last hour, I don't want to say being perfect, but not being a shit show, all right? If your last hour is a shit show of the day, if your last hour of the day is a shit show, if it's very unstructured, if it's erratic, if you do different things all the time, good luck having a clean, repetitive, consistent first hour of your day. Now, most of my clients are very dialed in for their first hour because they have to be. They start work at 6:30, 7 a.m. They start commutes at 5:30, 6:30 a.m. Not everyone, but some, most. And if they don't do a certain set of things, usually a workout, right, in the morning, early in the morning, they're dead. So not many of our clients are waking up and they're like, going like this with their phone in bed, like this. Now, I found out some are, which I wasn't very happy about. Some are hitting a snooze, all of a sudden starting to scroll a little bit. And so we have very specific action steps for that. But we asked them, how can you improve your last hour and your first hour? All right. By a mile, people's last hours were not optimized. They were spent scrolling too much, and it affected their ability to get to sleep at a time that they wanted to. And many had a follow-through impact to the morning. All right. First hour of the day. Some people had some struggles with, scrolling, more so like emails, Twitter, market futures, like check in on what's going on overnight. All right. A lot of our clients' mornings are pretty dialed in because they have to be, like I said. All right. We started to ask our clients where they were wasting time. Doom scrolling, snooze button, things like that. I was pretty surprised at how many people identified that they were wasting time via some of those things. Mostly scrolling. Okay. Some were hitting the snooze button. Snooze button is like, I got beef with the snooze button. You can, first of all, do you know that you can remove the snooze button from your phone? You can just take it away. It's not an option. You can take it off your alarm on an iPhone. You Android people, I don't know what you're thinking anyway, so I can't really help you. I'm sure there's an option there too. All right, but there's some simple little hacks. So first of all, if you are hitting a snooze button, you can remove it. I realize what that risk is. The risk is that you turn the alarm off and then you don't get up. Well, you'll learn. Late for work, oversleep 1 or 2 times, you ain't gonna do it again. But one of the very simple tools that we implement with our clients is you see how close my phone is? It's right here. And I put it down. And it's right here. And I put it down. Hand, phone, up, down. For those of you not on video right now, my phone is right next to me, which for many of us who go to bed, that represents our nightstand. Our phone is that close to us. And so if your phone is that close to you, it can be a problem. Now, I get it. I use my phone as an alarm. So my phone is next to me. Now, I've been training this for a period of time where I don't become susceptible to waking up in the middle of the night, scrolling on my phone, or scrolling too late, because I have a system, keyword system, in place to help make sure that doesn't happen. So before I get into what to do about snoozing in the morning, again, go to the most important part, last hour, all right? We use a process we call Good Sleep Habits, right? It's actually a resource inside of our program that clients can get a full document on building their own personalized PM routine, but obviously has some directions for them to follow. And if you are looking to go to bed, let's say at 10 p.m., you normally at 9:56 go, oh shit, it's time for bed. And then you stay up another 25 or 30 minutes and you say that, I just can't really get to bed at 10. And you've been scrolling around that time or watching TV and you're on your third Netflix show or at the end of the internet, or have been just flicking your life away on Instagram or wherever else you are, hopefully not TikTok because you're an adult, but you're scrolling too much. And so we need a reminder, I'm snapping my fingers, we need a pattern interrupt to let us know that it's actually getting close to bedtime. You've heard me talk about maybe the PM alarm. We wake up to alarms. You need to go to bed to one too. So I would set a PM alarm at, let's say, 9 o'clock. And at 9 o'clock, your alarm's gonna go off. You know what's gonna happen at 9 o'clock? You're gonna be doing something you wanna continue. Like watching a show, like scrolling, like catching up on email. Maybe it's something productive. I'm catching up on work. I have clients that have to go back to work for another hour or so after they put their kids down. So that's going to want to continue. So know that and give yourself a 10-minute buffer, 15-minute buffer. All right, this is where snooze is appropriate. Hit the snooze button. Snooze button comes back, the alarm comes back, you're done. All right, use 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you need to clean up. If it's your work environment, if you're working, if it's the kitchen, if it's the living room, if you got young kids, I know that, 4 minutes after you do clean things up, it's a complete shithole again. So clean stuff up, because so many times I hear people wake up, they tell me they wake up and they start cleaning up the house. While I am very supportive of you being a contributor to cleaning up the house, especially my guys who are at the office all day, and maybe your wives are at home, that is an awesome thing for you to do. It should not be what you do at 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m., whatever time it is. You should be doing that at night before you go to bed. That is not work at your peak prime time hours. Prime time for you is going to be spending time on you at 5 a.m. if that's your time, at 6 a.m. if that's your time, whatever it is. I don't need you cleaning up the house at 5 a.m. Clean it up at 9 before you go to bed at 9:15 or 8:45 before you go to bed at 9, whatever, okay? So spend 10, 15 minutes straightening shit up so that you're ready to wake up to a clean environment and you can attack in the morning. Attack in the morning. All right? After that, your phone goes on airplane mode. If you don't know where airplane mode is on an iPhone, you just open up your settings. It is right there. It's the first thing below your little, Brian Pannuzzo Apple account suggestions, the family thing. It's right above the Wi-Fi. You hit that button. For those of you on camera right now, I just did it. And as you'll notice, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cellular all went off. And if you ever want your phone to be less interesting, turn off the Wi-Fi, turn off the Bluetooth, turn off the cellular service. It is a brick. It's literally a brick. There ain't nothing that you'd want to do on your phone for longer than a few minutes without all that. What does that do? It puts a wall up between new emails. And by the way, if you have existing emails in your inbox, you're not going to be able to download any of the information. No new texts are coming in. You can't send a text. Definitely can't get on Instagram or TikTok, all right, you child, all right? Or Snapchat. You can Snapchat somebody too if you're on TikTok. Guys, 48-year-old men on TikTok. Can't check X. Can't check Facebook if you're still on Facebook. Can't send an email, right? No web, no cell service, no nothing. So you're going to put your phone down because it's not exciting anymore. All right. Now, the PM alarm, you can set one time. You can stop this podcast right now, or you don't even have to stop the podcast. You can just do it while you're listening and go into your alarms and set a recurring alarm for, let's say, Sunday through Thursday, and for, Monday through Friday mornings. And you can make sure you have this in place, this insurance policy in place. The airplane mode you have to do manually. Now there are apps that I've used before. Opal is a good one that will do a lot of this shutting things off for you on purpose. Time limits on purpose. Restricting access during times of the day on purpose. So if you are somebody who is picking up your phone throughout the day and wasting time in these little micro moments, because remember, I know you don't have 2 free hours, but I know that we can find, maybe not 2 hours, but we can find 45 minutes of accumulated time here and there, all right? I said this before on an Instagram video, I watch people who watch me, all right? A little pro tip here. If you are on a social media platform like Instagram and you're watching like stories, Instagram stories, okay? The people who post those stories are, we're very ego driven. We want to know that people are watching our stuff. And so we go and we look to see who's watching our stuff. And I see the same people watching my stuff all the time. And a lot of those people are clients, and I appreciate that. And if you're not a client, I still appreciate you paying attention. I hope you're getting a lot of value out of it. But there's also some specific people that I'm very, very, very specifically thinking of right now that I've had conversations with that have told me that things are too busy, or they're hiring another coach right now to focus on their fucking work, their business coach, or whatever. And it's like, dude, you're watching every single thing that I post. Don't tell me that you don't have enough time right now. Are you out of your mind? You're easily on this platform for 45 minutes a day. I know for a fact, because guess who else is? Me. And so if I'm doing it, I know you're doing it too. If my clients who are paying a lot of money to optimize their life are doing it, I know you're doing it too. And so here's some simple ways for you to get out of that, right? And so just know that, like, if you're spending time doing this, you have these accumulated moments. You may not have 2 hours. I don't know anybody who has 2 free hours. I don't know anybody who has, I don't know, some people that have a free hour. If we start to optimize your evening routine, you might have more free hours in the morning. But it's these accumulated micro moments throughout the day that you're throwing away. And so we ask our clients that, where'd you waste time? Another question we ask them, what would the surveillance camera tell me that your food log, your app data, you, whatever, doesn't show? I've talked about the power of a surveillance camera before. If you had to watch a videotape of your entire day played back to you each night to show you the things that you were doing, to show you where you were losing efficiency, it would make you nauseous. It would make you sick to your stomach. It would prove to yourself, I say this with love, that you're a fucking liar. And so am I. And that's okay. We're all liars. We all are fooling ourselves into thinking that we are doing everything that we can do. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Not every single minute of your day has to be this like health optimization, this like biohacker routine. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. But are we wasting a lot of time as individuals? 100%. 100%. So just being asked, where did you waste time this week? What would the surveillance camera show? You start to recall. I know for a fact that you've subconsciously thought about where there's a few moments here and there. Now think about being asked that question every single week. Think about having somebody come in and look at what they see and benchmark it to what you see and what you're reporting and give you their perspective, their unbiased perspective, their opinion about what they see and how they want you to improve, and using the carrot and the stick at the same time. Being firm, telling you need to do more, but also being understanding. How many times I look at somebody's feedback, because a lot of our clients are very they're all high performance. A lot of them are very critical of themselves. And you may be very critical of yourself too. And sometimes it takes an extra set of eyes that are not you, and ears, and awareness to say like, hey, look, I know that you're not super happy with like the past 7 days, but like, it looks okay to me. I think you're being a little hard on yourself. And that's powerful too, to let people know sometimes that from your vantage point, it doesn't appear to be as bad as you think it is. Now, maybe the data doesn't show everything and you're fessing up Or maybe you're just being hard on yourself. Right? So we ask people, what would the surveillance camera show? A lot of times it's what we call LBTs, licks, bites, and tastes. All these little things we're doing with our kids' foods, with the snacks, with the stuff in the pantry, with the snacks on the desk, with the things in the kitchen at the office. The stuff we walk by and just grab and just graze on. All these little things add up. Are they huge? I don't know, it depends. You take 4 handfuls of trail mix at work, and there's 500 calories right there, maybe more. So it all depends. But they're always identifying some areas that the surveillance camera would pick things up, that they're not necessarily being, I don't want to say they're lying, but like being fully honest about. We're just like kind of like, that didn't count. Nobody saw that. That didn't count. Right? You find your ball in the woods playing golf, and it's like blocked out by a tree. So you just like slide it over a little bit so that you can at least hit a screaming fucking 4-iron out of the woods and just get back into play. Like, you're not going to make a birdie from there, but you were technically blocked out. You probably would have had to hit it sideways instead of 175 yards forward. It's like little things like that people are just like, yeah, no big deal. Nobody saw. I'm just going to keep it going. And I'm not questioning your character if you do that. Sometimes you're playing a fun round of golf and you just want to keep it moving, and there's no need to like hit it sideways when the rest of the group has already hit their second shot and they're all marching towards the green. So relax, because I've moved my ball in the woods too. Try not to make a habit out of it, but in general, if I'm being honest, all right? And so what would their surveillance camera show? A lot of my kids' food. Me snacking on some things on the desk. Then we ask them to think about this concept of +1, -1. All right, +1, -1. What would you add this week? What are you capable of adding? One thing. Be small. It could be one. It could be a one. It's not like, what are you going to do every single day this week? It's like one action, one thing. For one of my clients, it was like, I'm going to reduce, drinking one night this week. I'm gonna cut 1 drink a night of the 2 nights I have scheduled to drink. Right? I'm gonna stop eating my kids' foods. No LBTs. Okay. Others are like, for me, I added, because listen, I do what I ask my clients to do. I do not ask you to do things that I am not willing to do. So my +1 this week was, it's called a couch stretch. I need to do more mobility for my hips and my low back. And so on a daily basis, I am doing 2 sessions of a particular, like 2 to 3 minute stretch for my hip flexors. All right. Now I'm adding that. I'm stacking that to my first hour. So if you want to get something done, do it earlier in the day. So my first hour is now adding my +1. My -1 was relative to staying off the phone and not scrolling. I wake up early. I have clients on the East Coast. I tend to check in immediately with them because all of them are active inside of our app, and I can check and see what's going on. And so at 4:30 in the morning, I'm getting updates because my guys are up at 5 a.m. doing workouts. So I'm seeing weigh-ins. I'm seeing like their nutrition completed from the previous day. I'm seeing their workouts done that morning. I'm getting a full download at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. But sometimes that causes me to still be in my bathroom, in the bedroom at 4:57, and I'm like still going through my client app, looking at client stuff. I'm like, dude, get out of the bathroom. Like, it's been 20 minutes since you woke up. Like, get into the front of the house, get to the gym, do what you have to do. So I take my phone off of airplane mode once I leave the bedroom now, or leave the house if I'm going to the gym. So I'm stacking these things. So +1, -1, being able to hyper focus on a change of behavior will help narrow your focus. Right? And one of the new things we've been asking them too is like, what would you regret? What would you regret if you didn't take action on this week? Think about that for yourself. What would you regret next week, sitting in the seat that you're in right now, if you didn't do this one thing, or achieve this one thing, or focus on this one area? Because maybe it's getting to the gym 3 times, or meal prepping once, or taking your wife out on a date, or calling a friend on the commute home once a day, Monday through Thursday. Whatever it is, what would you regret? Regret is a powerful emotion. It can drive you to do things that you want to do. So we harness that. So these are some of the things that we start to ask our clients, have them think more, audit more. Like, audit your week, man. Audit your day. You should be doing this on Sundays, like we do. And then that's the macro planning. That's your top-down planning for the week. And then you should be bottoms-up micro planning every night, 5 minutes, as part of your PM routine. You should maybe be journaling a little bit. Maybe you're praying. Maybe you're reading. Maybe you're definitely auditing your day. How did you do today? What do you plan to do tomorrow? Let's firm up the calendar. Let's look 2 days out. Do we see any times 2 days out where we have like an hour and a half block in our calendar where no one has us yet? If there are people if you have multiple people that have access to your calendar, you need to start going in and blocking times. So we have clients do that 24 to 48 hours out, each and every night. And it's a process, and it's a system. And we come back to it. And of course they don't do it every single time. But when they don't do it, they remember, they're notified. They have somebody asking them. They're answering these types of questions, going, oh shit, I didn't do this thing. Oh shit, I haven't tracked my food in the last 7 days. And man, it's weird, man. The scale's up 2 pounds. Those might be correlated. They might, not definitely, but they might be. And so these are all systems, checks and balances that we put into place into your life. We insert them as an operating system. And when you do that, you can't get that far off because you have me knocking on your door. Hey man, haven't heard from you in a while. Don't see any data. The text I hate to send to clients the most is, checking in, how we doing? I shouldn't have to send that. I shouldn't have to go, how are we doing? I should know. I should be able to see stuff. When our coaches can see what's going on, then we know. And you can't get too far away. That's the point. That's the power of it. It's the unbelievable power of accountability in your life and following a prescribed, proven system. And so I wanted to let you know that you're not alone and that you are likely wasting a shit ton of time in your day and your week. And you know what? So are people who are chasing excellence as well. But you got to do something about it. All right. And by far, doom scrolling, snooze buttons, wasting time in the evenings and in the mornings, first hour, last hour. All right. And LBTs, eating your kids' food and snacking on random shit throughout the day are 3 of the most common pieces of feedback that we saw in a very short period of time. And they're most likely affecting you too. And that's why I did this episode this week. And so I gave you some simple ideas. If you want more, you can reach out to me at brian@thesuccesslift.com. Give me a little bit of info as to what's going on, what you're struggling with, and we would love to give you some advice on how to make some improvements. The last thing I wanted to mention is we are now officially in the summer. All right. It is summertime. It is June 1st at the time of this recording. Welcome to June. Welcome to the summer. We are going on a little summer break. All right. The podcast has been unstoppable since 2020, since the summer of 2020. Now, technically, we are not going to break any streaks because we will still have podcast episodes for the next several weeks. But I am embarking on a multi-week journey with my son, who is 16 years old and is an aspiring high-level baseball player. We are going to a number of different tournaments on the East Coast for the next several weeks. And the coordination of pre-recording podcast episodes, making sure they're the right topics, not just mailing it in. I didn't want to just mail it in. Please understand, I could have just recorded 4 lazy podcasts on random topics and just kind of been check a box. I didn't want to do that. What I thought I would do is give you another little inside look, which I just did this week in this episode, give you another little inside look to our program. We record a client-only podcast every single week between myself and one of the other coaches inside the program, Hal McKenzie. It's called Coach's Corner. It drops every single Wednesday just for our clients. And it's gotten phenomenal feedback. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I would give you a little preview of some of those Coach's Corner episodes. They are very common topics around fitness, nutrition, mindset, habits, structure, routines. So we're going to give you a little inside look over the next few weeks. And we'll be back with regular episodes coming in July. And then we may even take another short summer break again, because I'll be back on the road with my son, and that's all TBD. But for the next few weeks, you're going to be hearing summer break Coach's Corner episodes between Hal and myself. I know it'll be highly, highly accretive and value added to you, because our clients have gotten a ton of value out of it and have given us that feedback. And so I appreciate you. I will be doing intros to each episode, so you'll continue to hear my voice. You'll see me. It'll be another person, maybe a nice change of pace. If you like this style, let me know. We'll do more of these types of interview style podcast episodes going forward. I appreciate you. Hope your summer's off to a great start, and we'll see you back here next week.